Money frees you from doing things you dislike. Since I dislike nearly everything, money is handy. Groucho Marx. The 5 keys to financial mastery. We will go through this in a little more detail, but I'm going to quickly go through the 5 stages or the 5 keys to financial mastery. The first being earning money, which is by adding value, and earnings can come from multiple sources. The second is spending, which is being able to be more controlled in spending, having a spending plan that works for you such that you're spending less than you earn. The third is a savings plan so that you're accumulating your money. And the fourth is growing it. That's when you take that money and put it into investment vehicles. And that's how that's the secret to wealth, through the power of compounding. And the fifth is contribution, being key, being able to give back to society, to help people around you. So wealth in itself is meaningless unless you're contributing to the lives of others. It could even also be your family and beyond. The first key to financial mastery is earning money. It's very important to understand where you are, to know your numbers. The truth will set you free. So many of us avoid looking at our personal numbers, even people with MBAs, people in finance, people who work with investments. When we know our numbers, we can sit with the reality of our finances. A brain that knows the truth will be less fearful and more supple and insightful if it knows what it's dealing with. So write down these numbers on a post-it piece of paper. Your expected monthly income from all sources, taxes. Write down your total living expenses for basic necessities, additional living expenses for luxuries for the next month. And when you do that, begin to notice what you see. Are you able to see the numbers clearly? What does it feel like inside to know the truth of your finances? This is a doorway to financial power and freedom. Knowing is the first step to acting. So the more you know, the easier it will be to act appropriately in response. The second key to mastery being spending. So pick a saving plan that works for you. There are many saving plans out there to choose from. You have the Dave Ramsey method, which has housing at 30%, food at 10%, savings at 15%, charity at 10%, and everything else at 35%. Dave Ramsey's method is clearing all debt, including mortgage debt, which some experts disagree with. But most or all experts, finance experts, agree that credit card debt is one to steer clear of. The other method is the 50-40-10 method, which has your needs, which are housing, food, transportation, medical expenses, and essential debt at 50%. And then savings and investments at 40%, and wants at 10%. The other is the 50-30-20 method, which has needs and obligations at 50%, savings and debt at 20%, and everything else at 30%. So you can see that with all of these methods, there's a slight difference in the way the numbers, in the way the categories are configured. The JARS method has necessities at 55%, long-term savings at 10%, and play at 10%, education and self-improvement at 10%, financial freedom at 10%, and charitable giving at 5%. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Albert Einstein. So I'll explain to you the power of compounding. So what the power of compounding is that your investment earns interest. And that interest earns interest, and that interest of interest earns more interest, and that's how your funds balloon or your investment balloons. So if you were to invest $40 a week into an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund that mirrors the S&P 500, and the S&P typically returns around 10% average. In a year, you'll have 2,193. In 5 years, you'll have $13,000. In 10 years, $34,000. In 20 years, 357,000. And in 50 years, 2.5 million. That's the power of compounding. And if any of you have heard this story around compounding, it is a story told about an emperor, a Chinese emperor. I've also heard the story of an Indian girl in India who asked for a grain of rice. But here in this story, the daughter of a Chinese emperor was ill, and he promised riches to anyone who would cure her. A young peasant, Ponglo, entered the palace, and he was able to restore the princess to health and won her heart. And as his reward, he wanted a hand in marriage, and the emperor refused and asked the peasant to think of anything else he would like. And what he did was he asked for a grain of rice. And when the emperor ridiculed him for that grain of rice, he says, okay, give me a grain of rice, but every day you double it for 100 days. And so the first day he was delivered a grain of rice, and the second day 2 grains. The third day, you get the picture now. So he gets 4 grains on the third day, and by the 4th day 8 grains. So it goes on to 5th day 16 grains, all the way through the 8th day 128 grains, and by the 12th day it was 2,048 grains. By the 20th day, 524,288 grains were delivered. And by the 13th day, you can imagine how that number doubled. And eventually it required 40 servants to carry that rice. So in desperation, the emperor did the only honorable thing he could do and consented to the marriage. So it was out of consideration of the emperor's feelings that no rice was served at the wedding banquet. But that story also tells you the power of compounding. So if ever you felt compelled or to draw out your returns from any investment, reconsider, because if your interest can earn interest, you're way ahead of the game. So the rule of 72 is just a simple rule, just to give you a sense of how you can do a calculation in your head without having to look anything up. If the interest is 3%, if your investment is earning 3%, it will double in 30 years. If its interest is 6%, it doubles every 12 years, and 12% doubles every 6 years. So that is the rule of 72. It's just about the doubling of your investment. Contribution. In a world that often emphasizes personal success and individual achievement, we must remind ourselves of the profound significance of what we give to others and to the world as a whole. Contribution is the essence of our existence, a force that shapes society, strengthens communities, and brings meaning to our lives. It is a powerful source of positive change and a currency that enriches the human experience. It is the cornerstone of growth and progress. From the moment we are born, we rely on the contributions of countless individuals to meet our needs and shape our development, from our parents to teachers, doctors, and to scientists and innovators of advanced technology. Every step of our journey is paved with the contributions of those who came before us. And we in turn have a duty to pass these gifts to future generations. Contribution fosters a sense of interconnectedness that transcends cultural, racial, and geographical boundaries. When we give to others, we affirm our shared humanity. Contribution also fuels personal growth and fulfillment. When we contribute, we experience a profound sense of purpose and satisfaction. Whether it's volunteering at a local charity, mentoring a colleague, or simply offering a helping hand, our contributions reinforce our self-worth and remind us of the positive impact we can have on the lives of others. Contribution also plays a significant role in wealth creation. When you contribute something valuable, whether it's a product, service, knowledge, or innovation, people are willing to pay for it. The exchange of value is the foundation of economic prosperity. Entrepreneurship is a prime example of how contribution leads to wealth creation. Entrepreneurs identify unmet needs or problems in society and create innovative solutions to address them. By doing so, they contribute new products, services, and business models that not only benefit customers, but also generate income and wealth for themselves and their companies. Building a strong reputation and a brand is a form of contribution that significantly impacts wealth. When individuals or businesses consistently deliver quality, trustworthiness, and reliability, they attract loyal customers and clients. Research in the fields of psychology and neuroscience has shown that contributing to others and engaging in altruistic behavior can lead to several positive changes in the brain and overall well-being. It also enhances mood and well-being. Acts of contribution, such as volunteering or helping others, are associated with the release of neurochemicals such as dopamine and endorphins, the feel-good chemicals that are linked to increased feelings of happiness, satisfaction, and overall well-being. Contributing to others can lift one's mood and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. Contribution provides individuals with a sense of purpose and meaning in their lives. When people feel that their actions make a positive impact on the world, it can activate the brain's reward system, reinforcing a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. Engaging in acts of contribution can also have cognitive benefits. Research suggests that helping others may enhance cognitive function, improve memory, and stimulate brain regions associated with decision-making and problem-solving. These effects are thought to be related to the positive emotions and reduced stress associated with contribution. Some studies have indicated that long-term engagement in pro-social activities may lead to structural changes in the brain. For example, the brains of individuals who regularly engage in acts of kindness and giving may show increased gray matter density in areas associated with empathy and compassion. In conclusion, contribution has a multifaceted impact on the brain. Engaging in acts of kindness and generosity not only benefits those on the receiving end, but also has a transformative effect on the contributor. It enhances mood, reduces stress, strengthens social bonds, and fosters a sense of purpose and well-being. As such, acts of contribution are not only good for the world, but are also excellent for the brain and overall mental health. Engaging in acts of kindness and generosity are important for contribution, but also let us remember that it is not limited to grand gestures or public recognition. It is present in everyday acts of kindness, the silent support given to a friend in need, and the efforts to make our communities better places. The impact of these contributions may not always be immediately evident, but over time they accumulate and create a ripple effect of positive change. So the formula for financial abundance is really, to sum it up, spend less than you earn, save, invest the difference, reinvest the returns for compounding growth until you reach a critical mass of capital that creates your target annual income. It sounds simple, right?